The Sahel and West Africa region faces recurrent food and nutrition crises fueled by structural factors such as the impact of climate change on agropastoral production, poverty, and difficulties in accessing basic social services including health and education. This situation is exacerbated by conflicts and soaring inflation. Despite wide-ranging responses by governments and their partners, the situation continues to deteriorate, particularly in countries most affected by security crises. Following the 6 April 2022 high-level meeting organized by the Sahel and West Africa Club at the OECD, the European Union and the Global Network Against Food Crises, ECOWAS, UEMOA and CILSS launched a political process aimed at implementing the Humanitarian Development and Peace (HDP) nexus to respond more effectively to food and nutrition crises in these countries. This initiative targets the 17 countries of the ECOWAS, UEMOA and CILSS regions, plus Cameroon. So, what is the HDP nexus? It's an intervention approach aimed at providing sustainable structural responses to food and nutrition crises in contexts where these are highly exacerbated by conflicts and other security tensions. The aim is to determine how food and nutrition security can be achieved by integrating and harmonizing humanitarian, development, and peace issues. Without being exhaustive, the humanitarian dimension includes the coordination of emergency responses. Development focuses on sustainable actions to improve living conditions, and peace includes inter-community dialogue to promote social cohesion and to anticipate and prevent conflicts. To achieve this, the HDP nexus began with the establishment of a task force responsible for supporting the states in reflection, dialogue, and action. The Secretariat of the Sahel and West Africa Club and the Executive Secretariat of CILSS play a central role in its management, in partnership with ECOWAS and UEMOA to provide political leadership at the regional level. In addition to developing methodological tools, the task force also supports countries in conducting comprehensive national diagnostics. These enable each country to define their own roadmaps based on their specific circumstances. Advocacy and lobbying at national, regional, and international levels are also being undertaken to mobilize governments and their partners to implement the approach. The implementation process begins with an initial phase for countries at the security front line before being extended to other countries. The operationalization of the HDP nexus is an opportunity to identify the key levers for improving the coordination and synchronization of multi-sectoral interventions. Engaging humanitarian, development, and peace actors in an ongoing dialogue is not a traditional way of working, and this is the main challenge. Similarly, accelerating the implementation of the HDP nexus requires innovative instruments and new ways of working to ensure flexibility in programming and financing interventions. Putting the HDP approach into practice depends above all on the political commitment from states. It requires each government to have good governance mechanisms and cross-sectoral coordination capacities on security, food, and development issues in general. Let's work together to create an enabling environment for this approach.